What's going on, everybody? Wanted to shoot this quick video to update you on my mental health. Lately, I've been doing astronomically better than I've been doing in the past couple of days, especially today and yesterday. They were just so much better. I can't even explain how good I feel right now, in case you can't tell. So I wanted to make this video sharing what some of the things that I've done that have severely impacted my mental health and improved it quite substantially. And I want to give credit to John Marty. Him and I had a conversation about 2 or 3 months ago talking about this, and I never really knew I needed this up until now. If you haven't watched any of my videos before, first of all, welcome. But I've been going through a lot of panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and I've been trying to share that with everybody here, just so you can make it easy to talk about mental health. I know it's a bit of a taboo subject or whatever, right? Now, I've experimented with medication, therapy, going to the doctor, and trying out a bunch of other things on my own, and a lot of it didn't really work for me, or sometimes it even made it worse. I was re-traumatizing myself by talking to people about it, by looking for advice online, and it just constantly be on my mind. So John Marty, about 2 or 3 months ago, told me about something called negative visualization. And negative visualization is basically you picturing all the worst outcomes on purpose. So let's say I'm anxious about going out and having a panic attack in public. I would sit down and consciously visualize that happening to the worst possible degree. So for me, this was a very uncomfortable concept because I was trying to avoid all these thoughts. I didn't want to think about all these anxious thoughts because I thought I was going to have a panic attack. So involuntarily, 2 days ago, I was sitting down, I was having these recurring thoughts about, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? Okay, stop thinking about this, stop thinking about that. I was going back and forth, but then an epiphany hit. Let me just allow this to happen. Let me just allow this to show me how bad things can get. So I actively started visualizing if I had a panic attack in front of a live audience, what's the worst thing that can happen? What are the worst sensations that I will feel in my body? If I'm having a panic attack in front of my girlfriend, how is that going to affect me? What sensations will I feel in my body? And I was imagining them to the extreme. Like, what's the worst possible outcome, right? Like, if I have a panic attack in front of my friends, they'd be like, oh, you're weird, we don't want to hang out with me, they'll leave. My girlfriend's gonna be like, oh, you're too much work, I'm gonna move on. Don't get any ideas if you're watching this. Or if my clients are watching this, they might be like, oh, this guy's got too much going on, we want someone more stable. Like, I'm picturing all these things in my head. And over that sensation, over that cycle of visualizing negatively over and over again, I learned to visualize, or learned to feel in my body. What is the sensation I'm gonna feel in my body? Is my heart gonna race? My stomach's gonna feel a little weird? And then I'd be like, can I handle this? Can I handle this sensation that this thought brings me? And over again, yes, the sensation feels very uncomfortable. It feels uncomfortable to have my heart racing. It feels uncomfortable to have weird butterflies in my stomach, but I can manage. It eventually subsides. So I began actively seeking out these negative thoughts, seeking negative visualization, and multiple times throughout the day, when these negative thoughts would come back into my mind, it became very predictable. It was like, oh, it's that thought again. I remember the first time it happened, it really hurt, and it was like, please get me out of these environments. I don't want to think about this. I don't want to visualize this. And over time, the more they knock on your door, it's like, oh, it's you again. Yeah, no, we've been through this before. Sure, let's just get it over with. Over and over and over again. And I visualize all the worst possible outcomes at least 50 times in my head, over and over. And every time they come, they become more predictable, they become more or less impactful, and they don't really affect me as much. So I think there's something to it. I don't want to quote this from a medical point of view. Don't trust me on mental health. Trust me, I'm barely keeping myself afloat here. But there's a very real risk of re-traumatizing yourself as well. If you're somebody who keeps visiting these memories, it might even make it worse for you. I'm just sharing what I've done. So for me, putting myself in that spot where I was visualizing the worst possible outcome the first few times was involuntary, and it was extremely painful, and I'm really glad it happened because now I've gotten used to those thoughts, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna come and go, come and go, come and go. So eventually it is a form of meditation. That's what it is, right? You kind of go through your thoughts, you observe the thoughts in and out, in and out, in and out. And now I can see myself doing that throughout the day, and I cannot tell you how much of a difference this has made to my mental state. Like I feel like I'm high right now. And for the past 2 days I've been on this. Now, there are other things that I've experimented with as well, some alternate forms of medication. I don't want to go into that stuff, but there's a lot of things that I'm trying out to see if my mental health works, and I think this has been one of the primary components. So I don't know if you're going through this and you're experimenting with different things and they're not working for you, or maybe you're looking for a new thing to try out. This thing's really worked well for me. And if you want more information or you want to talk to somebody about it, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to share it with you. So thank you everyone for supporting me so far. I'm so glad that this is resonating with people. I'm so glad there's a conversation happening about this. And I'm hoping that the rest of your week is amazing. The rest of your month is amazing as well. I will talk to you soon. Take care.